I've been loving the throwbacks by E-Flite with this new Ultra Stick. And Abby, what was the last one with the little dowel rod? Wasn't that the
Super Ultra Stick?
Super Ultra Stick. And they're whole...
Or no. Slow Ultra Stick. Slow Ultra Stick.
The sus.
I knew it was an S.
It's the sus. And guys, they are hitting home runs with these. I just wish so much that I could hand this plane to you guys through the camera so you could feel how lightweight it is, but how rigid
Here, let's try.
it is.
That's like paper.
It is, but it's so rigid and it has so much less give in the air when you're snapping it. And the inverted passes on this, it is all just so good. And it's finally, to me, clear as day that balsa has the potential, but is not always, better than foam, especially when you give it the right amount of power. This thing is just a pure rocket ship and it'll climb and roll all day long without any hesitation. My maiden flight was just awesome, and I'm excited to fly this again. Will you fly with me? So let's just put another battery in. This will be a 4S 2200, so let's just have some fun. What's nice about this flight is we have less wind.
Holy mackerel. And you're off, and I'm blurry, and we're back to focus, kind of. Oh, and he's up. All right.
You know what you're doing, Abby.
Hardly.
You know, we didn't even do a loop in the maiden flight.
You did a 4-point loop.
I did a 4-point, yeah, but not just a normal one.
Close enough.
Some of you guys probably hear something that sounds like my phone buzzing. That is not what's happening. Talk about that later. See, I can just, and you know you've got a really powerful plane when you don't fly full throttle when you're doing stuff like that. That climb that I just did was about 3/4 throttle. Here's full throttle. Yeah, power. It'll just climb forever. So smooth too if you want it to be. You don't have to do this snappy crazy stuff. It's just nice and smooth. Look at that feathery fall. What a cool plane. It is just very, I think the best word to describe it is rigid, and just that inverted flight even is just perfect. Just perfect. Going in for kind of an epic Cuban 8. Something that I've wanted to do for a while. Let's see if I can do it. I've got to focus. No, I probably can't.
I feel like you forgot to finish your Cuban 8. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, okay.
You like got distracted mid Cuban 8.
Yeah, because I wanted to do something else. You're right.
You went up and then forgot to go back.
There you go. Do, Abby.
There you go.
And this thing is super predictable. It's flying on rails. It's really awesome. Can do anything that my mind can throw at it. And that's the problem now. The limiting factor is me. That's how you know you've got a great airplane. Did I mention this has safe? So you can fly it as a trainer if you wanted to. That left roll rate is just insane. Beautiful, beautiful airplane. I think also I do actually still have a little too much rudder in this. So when I was putting it together at home, I moved my clevis positions rather than the outside hole to the inside hole. It recommends you start on the outside, but I started on the inside. And I did adjust that elevator on my maiden flight, but I didn't adjust the rudder. And I think for a cleaner knife edge, I'm gonna need to pull that back out some. I think I actually have it too far in because we don't need it to be quite so sensitive. I'll show you guys on this climb. Rudder, 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 rudder.
Shake it.
Let me see something here.
I liked it. I think you should leave it like that.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
that was fancy.
Rudder, 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 rudder. Full throttle. Snap that puppy. Man, I felt like I was gonna break it right there. What a cool plane. Punch. I don't think I have any foam planes that can do that. I think I have one big 6S airplane, but nothing this size. Could fly this all day. It is just perfection. Reminds me a lot of, at the old airfield, we had a guy that would fly a Red Baron version of this, and it's all he flew. An older guy, one of my favorite people there actually. And this reminds me of him. I don't know if he still flies it. He used to put the tray. You remember the tray shoulder strap he would wear, Abby? Look at that. We're actually hovering there. Sort of.
Looks like a hover from my perspective.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad. Zero throttle, and punch.
A happy little zero throttle moment.
As I said, it'll just do everything. Ka-chow!
Jeez Louise.
And so far, my landings have been pretty great on this thing, too. Let's see if we can keep that up. Really fun to fly. I gotta learn some new maneuvers, Abby. When we got airplanes like this that are this capable, and it's just time for me to learn something new, I don't know what to do. I gotta learn flight sim, I guess. I don't like flight simulator compared to real life. I'd rather risk crashing the airplane and learning it in real life.
You're funny.
Look at the landings on this every time. And it's because
crazy.
It's so powerful and perfectly balanced.
You haven't landed in safe one time, have you?
No, I have not.
That's crazy.
No, I want to just show you guys. It's not luck. I don't think that's luck. And I don't think it's skill. I think that is just because of the airplane being so awesome. It is perfectly balanced. I mean, absolutely perfectly balanced. And it will just float when you're at zero throttle. The stall tendencies on this plane are ridiculously awesome. There's zero throttle. I come in zero throttle, and usually on a tail dragger,
wow,
that's not a great thing, you know, like you want to come in under some power, like P-51 Warbird kind of thing. Man, I've never flown anything like this. I love the size. Sure, a little bit bigger could be cooler, but 1.1 meter just fits right in the back of the car with no problem. And it's just consistent on these landings, zero throttle. You can get power if you want to get it closer to you. But even an ugly landing like that is
looks good
pretty.
to me.
I mean,
let's try a right to left landing.
you really want it? Let's do it. That'd be a little
I know
light
you're
breeze
going
to our back.
Yeah, it will be. Let's see. Hardly any wind though today.
I'd say 3-mile-an-hour breeze.
Nothing compared to yesterday's 55-mile-an-hour
scary.
wind.
Yeah, that was really scary.
Let's see it.
Just let that speed bleed off some.
That's
Not bad. It is just consistently beautiful. I want to get one more pretty landing, Abby.
Okay.
Let's go for it. The takeoff, you need like maybe just a millimeter of right rudder on that takeoff too. I wish all planes flew this well. Some people watch our videos and they're like, Nate, everything you do, you know, it's the best, right? No, I'm not. This really is, but you're paying for it, right? That's the downside to this one, the cost, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And I just get excited because things keep getting better and better and better. I did that because I didn't want to touch down so fast. This airplane, you do not need to land fast. You can let it come in very slow. So I'm just having a blast. This battery's fine. So let's do one more. I want to try to make it like a really slow landing. Now that might be it.
What was that? That didn't sound good.
Weird.
Never heard it do that beep before.
I have not heard that beep ever before either.
It's probably like, you idiot. What are you doing?
Maybe. We'll try to get it really slow. Like we're almost going to stall in front of the camera. There's zero throttle. Try to bring it in. Get it right up here. Well, I could have come in a little slower.
You almost scratched it.
Well, that's another thing. I'm not worried about that with this airplane. This is just really, really high performance, super fun. The ultimate sporty kind of airplane. Also does a little bit of 3D, but man, oh man. And let me just tell you guys really fast where the telemetry's at on the voltage. 3.78 volts per cell, so it's nothing. That's your storage voltage. Could have flown for 5 more minutes. What I can say about this airplane with absolute confidence is that it has changed my opinion of balsa with electric airplanes. I've had a couple warbirds that are balsa, and I think they're all Hangar 9 actually, and I've had planes before Hangar 9 that were balsa too, and they just don't impress me. I've always thought, well, foam is easier, it's easier to repair, it's just better. I can just put foam and electric together and fly whatever I want, whether it's a scale plane, an ugly plane, but it's like 3D performance, or World War II warbird or something. I fly foam, and I've been obsessed with foam. I have hundreds, I don't own currently, but through the years I've had hundreds of foam airplanes, and I've always thought that they are superior. And that is just because I don't fly any large glow or gas planes, but I'd love to someday. But as far as electric goes, with balsa, I've always wondered why? What's the point? Well, I think they nailed it with this one. There is an Ultra Stick, the Hangar 9 Ultra Stick, that's yellow, and I just don't feel the same about that. I fly it, but I don't like it like I like this. This sets a whole new bar for balsa airplanes, and luckily, just in case you guys don't want to swing the price tag for bind and fly, it does come in as an ARF, so you can build it yourself. But this is so perfect, I cannot imagine anyone ever putting their own electronics in here and it performing better than what's already in here. I hate my alarm buzzing. I've got to figure that out. And it's just like hit and miss. Some airplanes that are bind and fly with telemetry do it and some don't. I don't understand that, because I can set my telemetry to go off at 3 volts and it never goes off. I did that on this plane and it went off from takeoff to landing. So I put it on vibrate for you guys, so hopefully it's not as annoying, but man, it annoys me. My controller's vibrating the whole time I'm flying. So tell me, someone, I know I'm doing something wrong. Do I need a firmware update? What is going on? But that has nothing to do with the airplane. This is just, oh, awesome, just awesome. Since when have I put an airplane upside down and it just cruises the same as if it were upright? I love it. So it'll be linked in the description box below. This is my second flight of this airplane, and that's why actually I haven't resolved the buzz from the maiden to this time. Sometimes we record a couple videos while we're up here, so you know, that's what's going on.
It's actually your third. All that beautiful drone footage that you see of mine.
That's right.
That was his second.
That's
flight.
exactly right. And so, you know, it's a weird thing. You guys, sometimes you get all the information, you get to hear from other like YouTubers and stuff when something comes out. At the time of flying this, even though this is my second flight, and it could be like months after that maiden flight that we release it, I know nothing about this. I barely sometimes get instruction manuals. Sometimes my boxes come just cardboard. Like, it's a different experience for me, so forgive me if ever I'm a little bit wrong about something, but I do the best I can. And having said that, doing the best you can, sometimes you make mistakes, sometimes you crash, and if you do, it's nice to have AMA. I always have AMA on me, in my wallet, my AMA insurance card, anywhere, anytime I'm flying. I wouldn't consider even plugging a battery in without having AMA insurance. So I'm going to encourage you guys to sign up, because it comes in at the price of a couple batteries, a third of the price of this airplane, and you're insured for the entire year. Back in the day, I used to think AMA was expensive. Amazingly, their price is pretty much held out, while things like this have almost doubled in price, which they're still cheap compared to stuff when I was a kid. So I don't know, money's all relative, right? But in my opinion, it's worth having AMA. So it'll be linked in the description box below. Buy this airplane. If you click the link to the airplane, we get credit if you buy something while you're there. So please consider that if you enjoy our content. If it means anything to you, it means a lot to us if you do that. So thank you. While we're on the subject of thanks, and really it should be on the subject of anything, and maybe at the beginning of the video, just for the camera, the breath, the birds flying by, the clouds, the no wind, the beautiful grass that's now green and not dead. Feels so much better coming out of winter. It just feels like, you know, we're getting ready for vacation or something. It's just because spring and summer are around the corner. For all of that, for life in general, good days and bad, I thank God. I want to say a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters too, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to get out here in front of the camera and do this as often as we do for other people to enjoy, not just me and Abby. So because of our Patreon support, the world gets to enjoy some RC Sailor airplane and other RC content. So thanks to our patrons. I don't know if my maiden flight was better than this flight, but man, that was a good maiden flight. And if you missed it, it's definitely worth your time. That video is popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.